Hey everyone, we're back. Welcome back to the Dead Gremlin podcast. It's me again, Jake Smith. We are joined by the great Hunter Hancock, otherwise known as MeatCanyon for all you normal people out there. You can call me Dead Gremlin if you'd like. That's what I told Kyle, and you don't have to. But
yeah, I've always called you Jake.
Yeah, if you would like. Well,
Yeah,
sometimes you don't call me Jake on Discord when we interact.
What do I say?
You call me Corky, or Nick calls me Corky.
He'll call you Corky.
He forgot who because on my name on Discord is Corky Shimatsu. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you like Jimmy Neutron? I thought you were pretty into Jimmy Neutron.
I think I saw the movie.
Yeah. Oh, the movie. Yeah, about where the chickens steal their parents. That one's pretty good. Corky Shimatsu is the talent scout who goes to the school play in the school play episode.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
No.
Man, you should go home and watch that.
Yeah, no.
If you want to.
I don't know. I don't know how often I'm going to be revisiting Jimmy Neutron as a show.
It's pretty good still. The animation is, you can see like where the skybox is cut off in the background, but that's the charm. You know that they were doing it as hard as they could every week.
Early 3D.
Yeah. Dude, the show is great because in the movie Jimmy had shorts, and then in the movie they gave him long pants. Yeah, that's just the thing I loved about the show. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, which I don't know, if you're on YouTube, you probably know who he is. MeatCanyon is an animator. Would you give yourself that title?
I would give
myself. Give that to you?
I'd give myself. I make cartoons.
I
haven't animated in a long time.
Oh man, do people know that, or are you pretty?
I don't know. I mean,
pretty transparent.
I've never claimed that I animate everything. I've gotten to the point to where I do so much other shit that the animation has to be done by people who are better at it. Well,
I was actually going to ask that too. So I storyboard for you, and in the process, like the step-by-step process, would you say am I the second person in that line?
Mm-hmm.
And then after me, where does it go? So you give me the script, and your scripts are great because I can tell that you're like, you're getting them out there, and your ideas are pouring onto the thing. Words don't have to be spelled correctly.
No.
When you're getting your ideas out there, who gives a shit about that? I know what you're saying.
I don't know anything about grammar.
Yeah, who cares? So after me, I get it. I go through, I do all the angles, and I do that kind of thing. Sometimes I do like frame by frame animation if you need it. If it's when would you say you do need that step from me as opposed to the animator in the next scene? What are you looking for when you're like?
Sometimes when there's more visual information, it's just coming from a standpoint of like, sometimes animators need like more direction visually. So it's not them guessing the entire time or whatever. So sometimes it's nice, especially if I'm just like, they need to do this, exactly this, because if I don't say that and then they get something that's like maybe a segment of something, then they'll like maybe interpret it completely different as they see in the boards, which like, there's never hardly any time to do anything that crazy or whatever, but we try our best to like, just like loose and fast and just,
spontaneous, I guess.
Spontaneous and just like letting the artists kind of do their thing. Like that's another thing too that I've learned, from collabing with so much people is that you got to let artists like put some of themselves into it. Cause if you try to like put people too much in a box, it just, everything is very like, I don't know, uniform and stale.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's what I appreciate a lot with working for you. And I feel like since I started with you, so Hunter's not a comics guy. This is a mostly comics podcast, but I also wanted to open up to just artists in general. So, and you like comics, I think, from time to time.
From time to time.
You dabble, I guess.
I dabble.
Yeah. So I really like getting to do storyboards for you because I feel like my storytelling just in general has improved from working with you. Because when you work in, a visual medium like film as opposed to comics, you really have to think about timing and every like little moment is important.
Yeah.
So I've gotten better at that, and I thank you for giving me that experience.
Oh, well, wow, thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
I don't deserve that, but that's okay.
You don't deserve thanks?
No. I think it's just a natural progression of doing something long enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're saying, I would have gotten there, but you
will have gotten there.
I got there faster because of you.
Oh,
So
well,
thank you.
there it is.
I had so many other things to do.
Yeah,
You
and
helped
then-
me with that part of my
Yeah, it's a
life.
nice shortcut. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
you helped me get a shortcut.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with your influences overall because I can see a lot of them and I'm sure people can see them. But I wanted to, tell you what I thought some of them were. Maybe you could like expound my knowledge and give me, some other ones. But I feel like Junji Ito's a big one. And I wanted to talk about Junji Ito and his, influence on you. Because I feel like your horror stuff to me, just from, again, a storytelling standpoint, is like the best paced, the most like even if it's not funny, like say you took all the humor out of it, it's scary. And I think it has to do a lot with the shot composition. I know I storyboard it. I'm not trying to like be like I came up with those, but
no.
Your pacing within the script, like the Guy Fieri one, I love like so much.
Thanks,
and
yeah.
working on that one was fantastic.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Talk about like, are you super into horror? I obviously, but tell me about it.
I just think, well, yeah, Junji Ito and stuff. He's awesome. I don't ever think that any of my stuff is scary. I like the idea, like the thought of something can be very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I just find that like playing around in horror is really fun because horror and comedy go kind of hand in hand. They're both very absurd and crazy, and it's easy to be in both realms at once. Because sometimes people could look at something like if an 8-year-old watched my stuff, they're like, "Oh my god, that was horrifying."
Yeah.
Right. But then somebody else could be like, "That was really funny," and I like that idea of like, I'm mostly just trying to create an environment where I'm trying to unnerve you, or I'm trying to like, I have a goal in mind with the storytelling, and I've got to use the visuals of it to almost always have like a layer on top of something that's very surface level that people can be like, I like that.
Yeah.
Because people are very dumb.
You want that quick, satisfying, I get the message.
Yeah, or just for like a business standpoint, it's
Yeah.
like you have to be able to appeal to the largest audience. And like, I would never in a million years be like, I'm an artist through and through. At the end of the day, it's like, I like making stuff, but I also like making money.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think that like you have to have that balance of what is something that's like surface level, people can be like, that's great.
Yeah.
It's like for you, like if you were doing something that's like a kaiju comic, and it's like on the surface, people who like Godzilla and stuff, they'd see all that stuff and they'd be like, oh, cool, this is drawn well, I like that. But then even if that's all they took away from it, that's still worth something, versus like you could have an extremely nuanced family drama underneath it about like missing out on your father.
Yeah.
That's like something that's like, oh, that's like really what I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
and like I'm trying to
exactly.
do that. So it's nice to be able to like stack your stories like a sandwich and stuff. And but that's something that like through like Japanese horror mangaka that I found a lot is like they will take just an idea and they'll just kind of like place it on top of the story about like a good one is of Junji Ito's. It's the Grease one where the guy squeezes the face and the grease comes out.
I'm not sure what that's called though.
I think it's literally just grease.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember, but that one's really great because the visuals alone are just so disgusting, and everybody knows how vile seeing like pulsating zits are and stuff. But there's like a crazy kind of fun story underneath it of like a weird family drama about like a failing business. You don't know where the mom's at.
Yeah.
It's like this like single dad raising these people in this like restaurant. And like that's where I was like kind of seeing little things where you're like, oh, this is interesting that there's like I'm asking more questions after I'm done, which is like with any horror that I like, that's always the case. Like H.P. Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe, any stuff that like a 13-year-old would enjoy, I enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, this is so sick.
So like when you are thinking about getting as many eyeballs on a video, do you know going in and picking what, because I know our process, I know you're very particular about which cartoon you air at what time, because it's all the algorithm and all that stuff. Can you kind of gauge at this point and look at it all put together with the thumbnail and kind of go, I know how well this one is going to do, or still a guessing game?
I think you got kind of an idea. Like the MeatCanyon hype has definitely died down, so I'm not going to pull like the same numbers I used to, but I know enough to be like, this subject is like something that's in the zeitgeist of like pop culture on YouTube. So I know that it's going to get spread around and stuff. And that was kind of like early on. That's what I found when I started doing like parodies of like YouTubers even.
Yeah.
Was like the strength of just like polluting little ponds.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm never going to be able to compete with people who are like just in animation, because there's so many amazing animation channels out there, like making beautiful stuff. And like, I'm just not that great of an animator visually and stuff. And also I just want to like compete with other YouTubers. Like by that time, whenever I started, it was still kind of in the zeitgeist of like, or people people on YouTube were still like, oh, animation's dead. Like, you can't upload cartoons.
What time was this?
Like, then the adpocalypse happened.
Yeah.
And they did the switch. So that would have been like around 2016 or so, 2017. And all the big YouTube, like, animators were just like, because they changed the way that you got paid from, it used to be clicks.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to minutes watched. And like, it was like, everybody kind of had to hit like a 10-minute long video.
Oh, yeah. That's why every video was 10 minutes and 1 second long or something for a little while.
Yeah. And like, that's kind of changed, but that was like a big thing where people were just like, it's done. YouTube sucks, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so it was just, I just didn't want to fall into that category. I wanted to compete with like David Dobrik.
Yeah.
He's making like a vlog that's like 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That was like his gimmick or whatever. But he was doing it a bunch and it was like spreading like wildfire. So I just thought, how can you kind of infect that? I'm moving away from the question, but I can.
I like where it's going, because I was going to say the last one I storyboarded for you is about a big YouTuber. And every time you send me a YouTuber focused one, I'm only in the realm of like comics and comic stuff. I'm actually, to work, I have to stay away from social media a lot. And I only watch the same YouTubers I've watched for like 12 years.
Yeah.
So anytime you send me one, I'm like the Patreon shirt one, I think it was, with the Cold Ones guys in it.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're
Max
kangaroos. Yeah. Dude, other than them, I was like, who are these people? There are like 90 of them.
I still don't even know how half of them were.
And like their names became just like sound effects, like Glorp was like one of them, I'm pretty sure. But
just weird, new stupid fucking names of stuff.
I think I'm having a stroke when you're like, I want Glorp coming out of a kangaroo. And then I'm like, are you fucking with me? This can't be real. And then you're like, dude, sadly, it is real. I think that's always your attitude.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's just stupid names of rich 17-year-olds, pretty much.
Glorp, I guess. That'll be my name. That kind of, what is like the creative process between making like Monster Lab or Melvin, like an original IP that you've created that kind of, I don't want to say you can feel your energy behind it, but it at least from my point of view, I like to do things that are completely 100% me. It's just the most gratifying. So what's the creative process? Is it harder to do parodies, or do you like them just as much as doing your own shit? Like, what's the difference between
I hate
the two?
parodies.
You do? Okay.
Parodies are very easy because it's like you're breaking down on a quick video.
Yeah.
A parody like breaks down 80% of the battle, which is people
To click
know exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not even the click, but people who, when you watch the video, I know this character. I know what the storylines with them. I've had years of exposure with them. All this kind of thing.
A lot of the backstory's already established.
Same with like if I parody a YouTuber, they know that person. They know the scandal that's going on.
Yeah.
All that cultural zeitgeist. So introducing a new character to people is like extremely difficult because no one cares. You have to like get people to care. So I don't know if it, and I care about everything that I make, but like with Melvin or something like that, it's like you really have to prove your worth. And I'm like, I'm a envious little prick too. Like
greedy.
I see other people's original stuff and I'm like, God, that's so cool. I want to do that. So it's like finding that balance. And like Melvin's cool, and Monster Lab was like a huge undertaking that I wasn't prepared for really, but I did. And
I mean, it turned out great. Those are some of my favorite videos you've done for sure.
Thanks.
And I can watch them from an outside view because I had nothing to do with those.
There you go. There, yeah, that's nice. And I look at those and it was like such a test run. Melvin, I'm in a way
better,
happier spot, I think, with like feeling like, okay, I really like this.
Yeah.
So
I love the
really
bowling
cool.
one. That one turned out fantastic.
Yeah, I got like 2 more planned so far.
Yeah.
So I just, that'll be starting soon, I think, too.
I mean, when you're playing like the nastiest old man that puffs the cigarettes in his face, and you're just like talking about him, does he say something about eating a dog? Like his dad ate a dog or something?
He kicked a dog.
Yeah, he kicked a dog. And he's like, he ate a dog in the alleyway back there. Just like that's my favorite shit that you do. I can feel you're having the most fun when you get to say nasty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is fun. I like saying nasty things. What's also like things that I've heard, like that was all based around a guy that my grandpa knew at McBowl. That was in Liberty, Missouri before it was turned to Retro Bowl.
Oh, it was called McBull. His name wasn't McBull.
No.
Oh.
His name was Robbie.
Oh, Robbie McBull.
Which is the same name as the guy in the tune.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he would just tell me all kinds of horrible things about my grandpa. That was like the biggest thing.
So the whole like idea is from that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The whole deal was from that. I just kind of like, it was like, it's like a weird family drama of like feeling like the whole idea of the precipice of it was like, you know, like you don't have to live in your parents' shadow, I guess. Like your parents' mistakes aren't a reflection on you kind of thing.
That's cool.
But that was like a big thing. Like obviously the guy didn't say anything as bad as like that.
Your dad was kicking a dog.
Whatever. But one thing Robbie did say to me when I was like 8 was he was like, I saw your grandpa kick a dog to death out there by the batting cages.
Oh shit.
And I was like, what? My grandpa was like, "Oh, it's not true." And I was like, I think it was definitely true. And I'm like, and it was like horrible. Where I was like, why would you do that? And he's like, it was the 50s. It was a crazy
we
time.
were all kicking dogs.
Yeah, everybody was kicking dogs left and right.
If you weren't kicking a dog, no one hung out with you.
I think his excuse is he's like, it was a mutt.
It was he was an inbred.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, he wasn't a thoroughbred or anything. He's just a mutt.
Dude, he had his documents. There was nothing about it. He didn't win any shows. He wasn't winning any dog shows.
He wasn't any dog shows. So then, that became like a weird like joke with me and my grandpa. Was I would just be like, just make up horrible shit about him that he would do at the bowling alley.
And you'd see how he react to see if it could be true, that one that you made up.
Yeah, I never said anything about him sucking cock or anything like that. But
when you did, he went, how'd you find out? I mean,
really?
Wait,
they still know me up there?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about, so when I met you a few years ago when I moved here, at that time, I think you had 500,000 subscribers, and Baldemar introduced us, and he was like, my buddy does cartoons. And I was like, hey, cool, man, I heard you do cartoons. And then I went home to check what it was, and I was like, oh shit, he does cartoons. And I think within like, you announced it, you're like 500,000. And then like within a year, you would hit another million. It's like, but I feel like, weren't you grinding and like trying to get there for like 6-7 years? Or how long were you before you got that snowball?
The snowball. Yeah. I mean, I've been up like ever since I graduated college. I've been like making cartoons, but once again, it was like kind of under the idea of like, well, I'll never make any money off this, so I'm just gonna kind of do it when I have time. And also, I just didn't have enough experience. Like, God, I went to Kansas City Art Institute, and that was like a huge fucking waste of money.
Yeah,
like, just a conceptual art school.
Did you go the whole way, or did you drop out?
No, I went the whole way.
You went all the way with it.
Unfortunately, went all the way. I told myself, I was like, well, when people ask me now, especially, they're like, I'm thinking about going to art school. What do you say?
Yeah.
Well, I say like one, I'm like, if you're socially inept, it's a good place to go to school.
It's like summer camp, yeah.
Well, it's like, don't even go to like, you just go to like community college and learn how to talk with people.
Exactly, yeah.
If you can't talk with people, you'll never make it anywhere.
That's true.
Anywhere in life. Like, even if you're trying to be a plumber or something like that, you would never get a fucking plumbing job because no one wants to work with like the weird, quiet dude who wants to be a plumber.
Well, I was telling Zoe today, like, I feel like I don't think this. I think your animation's amazing, but there are these incredible artists out there, and I have some friends from art school who are like, they kick the shit out of me with their art. They're so good, but they never developed any business sense, like I was talking before the show about going to cons, meeting people. They didn't have any of that, and they can always get that. You can always learn that shit, but that is so important. How early did you find that you were like, oh, I can achieve more things if I like talk to people, the
only time I've ever achieved anything was talking with people.
Yeah.
It's never been through a portfolio, anything like that. It's just been like literally talking with people. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. And I think that's like a weird thing where it's like people who are extremely gifted at a young age don't learn that. I found the majority of the time. I mean, like, of course there's like people who exceptions or whatever, but I found like it's good to be able to like build off that a bit and have like social skills and do that deal. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, the business side of it all just came from just like a really rough time after college and just extremely broke, and also seeing like what have other people done that are mistakes, like YouTubers or even just like you hear stories about like they did this and now
Yeah.
they're bankrupt and all this kind of stuff, or they should have done this whenever, you know, X, Y, or Z happened. So it was just like a collection of things where as soon as like my time hit, I was just like, I know exactly what I feel like I have to do.
Yeah, and not to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Harry was bragging about you guys getting that like partnership with that dildo company.
Yeah, our dildo comes out in October.
Wow, what I had never heard of that. He was like, "You heard the big dildo company?" I was like, "I don't keep up, man. You know, single.
It's pretty infamous now.
I've got a fiance now. I don't need that anymore. That's not part of my life. You know.
That you got what a stocking stuffer to get now. Dude.
I use shower massagers. That's my dildo. You know?
I see.
Yours is a dildo. I've seen it.
This is they're giant fantasy dildos. Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon, and yours looks like meat that's been like. Right? How would you say that? Molding in the sun?
It's just like a monster.
Nasty meat dick monster.
Yeah, I'm very stoked. We're animating this like the person the dick belongs to.
Yeah.
I think for the promo video, it's going to be pretty funny. It'll be like it's going to be a guy he's like, this is like a mold of my dick. Yeah. I've fallen on hard times, like trying to pay my bills, blah, blah, blah. But he just can't get hard the entire time. So he's like,
do you put the mold on?
No. He has it. He's like trying to like show you. He's like, this is what it looks like, but it's just soft the whole time. And he's just like, I can't, that's how, you know, I wish I could do this, but I can't. I don't know. So it'll be that. And I think if this does well, I think we're going to try to do like a fleshlight that's his ass. And there's gonna be like a giant hemorrhoid on top of it,
dude.
So he like spreads it. He's like, the dildos weren't enough. Like, I gotta.
So
do
he'll
more.
keep coming back.
Yeah, I want to try to make up my little pay pig, dude.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna talk about the Apple Vision video that I did recently. I didn't know it got taken down like right away.
Yeah,
until I asked Harry. I was like, "Where's that video? I haven't seen it yet." And he was like, "It got taken down like in a minute." But then Harry talked to me about how from that you guys got quite a few patrons, just of people who were like, I want to see that. And then they sign up. Are you at this point, like, because of the shitty like monetization stuff, are you trying to get as much just from like everything's about go to the Patreon, do the Patreon because that's the real place? Or is YouTube still a big...
YouTube is still a big part of it. Yeah. I wouldn't lie and be like, I'm not making anything from it. The biggest thing with Patreon is it's a huge safety net, and we're able to pay art. Like, the only reason we're able to pay all the artists is because of the Patreon and stuff. So that's helpful. But we also have... it's like, you get physical media, and we post there a lot. So it feels like something where it feels fair. Because that's like the biggest thing with Patreon is just making sure that you just don't feel like you're ripping people off and stuff. So
you get the exclusive stickers.
We do monthly stickers, and we do like polls and votes. We did like this Patreon game one time that got turned into a video. So we're trying to like think of new ways to make it like if there is any kind of interactive community, it's through the Patreon, which I know is like a paywall, but it's also kind of the paywall helps a lot too because it's people that just like you're kind of weeding out all the annoying people that would just be there causing havoc. So it's kind of nice there, and like you can interact with us for like $1 a month if you wanted to.
Oh, what's the buck get you? What's
just like all the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now when you were getting into the animation, my guy that I grew up with that I kind of watched with my friends was Psychic Pebbles, and
Zach,
you've had him do one. I know he was Humpty Dumpty at one point.
He's Humpty Dumpty. Okay. Yeah.
Was he anything else?
That I'm forgetting. He's a busy boy.
Oh, okay. He was my guy. Was he one of the ones that you looked up to? Who were the kind of the animators that you were like, I want to be like that guy?
Yeah, the golden era of YouTube animation of like Oni and Zach and Rice Pirate, Spaz Kid, all those dudes. I mean, I grew up with all that too. I was also just really big on like Adult Swim and like early SpongeBob and like all that kind of stuff.
That's what the posters I was trying to find were like Rugrats and Nickelodeon shit. They didn't have any at the store, and I was like, oh, that Sailor Moon video I did where you become Sailor Moon, and I feel like that right next to you just makes me happy.
Yeah,
because I'm imagining you as every type of Sailor Moon.
I look just like her.
You with a little ass cheek pokes out too.
Are these weapons? What the hell is this?
That's her like. Imagine I've never seen Sailor Moon except the first episode, if I'm being honest. But they're scepters of friendship or whatever, right?
Do they shoot magic? Is it just magic
they
stuff?
Harness good feelings, I feel like, or something vague like that,
One of them just holding like a tambourine.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
know.
a band, aren't they? Isn't it like
It might be. There might be some music involved.
It's like a music documentary series or something. I don't know.
Skirts too low.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
Make
How old
the
are these
skirts just
girls?
a little longer. That's what I keep saying.
Because they never clarify in the show because they want you to put the age you want them to be onto them, right?
It's a reverse lolly.
Yeah. They want you to feel like, oh, in my head, because if you broke the fantasy, no one will watch that show anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like to be creepy. Like my ideal age is a woman in her like late 30s. You know. So that's what I project onto all of them. And then the Demon Slayer, I've got
Project away. This is going to be a good.
Project away.
Yeah, this
is going to be good content.
This is definitely not going to come back to haunt
This is
you
going
at
to be
some
the
point in
clip
life.
isolated.
Yeah.
And then the Demon Slayer video I love a lot, and I had a lot of fun drawing her coiling out of the box.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
What's her name? Nesuke or something?
I almost say Kagome, but that's the
Kagome.
Inuyasha.
Yeah, I'm
girl.
not. What are the anime? What are your favorite ones? Your anime boy,
Baki.
Baki, dude. I haven't checked out Baki yet, but
Baki,
I've heard very good things.
I love the.
Do you like Gantz?
I don't. I've never. Read
I think you'd love Gantz. You should check.
I don't know. I'm also very picky and stupid, so
Just look at the cover. It doesn't interest you, then
well, I think I've seen the cover. It just says Gantz, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, no, not just. It's got some
you said-
viscera.
I just remember it's just a black with white text with like a red circle.
That does sound
Gantz.
familiar, but there's. Do you like
I'm
fonts?
hooked.
Hunter, do you like fonts? Dude,
I
I got
love fonts.
a serif font. You're gonna fucking go
Oh,
ape
wow.
shit for. It's gonna be great.
If it was in Comic Sans, I'd be like, "This is honestly, I'm intrigued."
Do you like papyrus
Or
as
Papyrus
well?
as well. Yeah, either or. That would be amazing.
How ballsy is it? The Avatar logo is just papyrus. I love that.
You know,
Is it ballsy or is it safe? Or how would you describe it?
I would say it's ballsy. James Cameron does anything ballsy. I can't believe people spent money to see that movie.
I haven't seen it yet, actually, but
My editor,
I've heard from
Nick,
some people it's good. I've heard some people
my
it's
editor
all right.
Nick saw it 3 times in theaters. The second one.
Dude, my brother who hates everything, even like kind of like that, came out of it and was like, "It wasn't bad," and I was like, "What?" And he hates.
I don't know.
He would see a trailer for that. He saw Shape of Water and he was like, "She just fucks a fish, man." And I was like,
would love to see that.
"It's
Does
beautiful."
that happen in Shape of Water?
It's implied very heavily that they closed the shower curtain.
Oh, so they did.
Oh yeah, they did
Okay.
fuck. And he was like, "That'd be like a movie about a guy like fucking his pet goldfish, right?" And I'm like,
Yeah, but your goldfish isn't like a 6'5",
like a sentient man. Yeah.
Chad fish.
Yeah, I was like, so because it can't talk, that's why it's not okay. And he's like, no, not that. His whole thing broke down. But yeah, he usually sees people in like makeup, and he's like, whatever. He wants to watch a movie like The Master.
What's
You know
weird
what I
is, I like that. Yeah, who doesn't like watching The Master?
And hey, that's fine. But then also enjoy my dumb movies, my brother. This is to my brother, who's
feel like-
definitely going to watch this.
I feel like
He's a big fan.
the fish out of or the Shape of Water. What is it?
The fish out of the shape
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. The
Shape of Water. Like, at least that fish looked cool.
It looks badass. It's Guillermo del Toro.
The Avatar monster, like aliens, just look so fucking dumb. They look so stupid. They're like giant, like gangly.
They almost look like Gumby material, like rubbery.
They do.
Yeah.
I just know that they said like the ocean is very beautiful in the new movie, but at the same time, I just don't care.
But also the ocean is very beautiful in real life as well.
Yeah, put a camera and a bunch of electronics
It's
underwater.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
good. I'll see that 3 times.
James Cameron's also just obsessed with the ocean, though.
He loves it, man.
He does.
Didn't he like? Wasn't there a story? I'm so old. Years ago, where he like went all the way to the bottom and like put a film reel down on the ocean floor or something.
I don't know
weird.
about that, but he has gone. He went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, or however you say that.
Yeah.
Which is the deepest part on Earth.
That's what
He's
I'm thinking.
the only person that's ever done that.
I think someone made a
That's
joke
insane.
where he left like a copy of Titanic, the reel, like at the bottom.
I
to,
guess.
like,
Why wouldn't you? I would.
yeah,
It'd be awesome. I'd leave my whole
like a hard drive.
not
with all
even
your
like
cartoons.
not even Blu-rays. I'd just like throw some DVDs down there. And I'd be like, there it is.
Just like every
Yeah.
cartoon you ever did, the Garfield one.
Yeah. Wow, you're so lucky, Ocean.
Oh, was it fun collaborating on that very first one I did, which was the Garfield one? Was that a fun? Now, I'm not bragging in any way, but you used me quite a lot, and I feel like we have a good, easy back and forth now. How was it on that? Even if maybe you don't even remember, you might not even
I
remember.
don't even remember. The only thing I remember of that was me being like, I'm so happy I don't have to do this.
Were
That
you
was the biggest thing. I was like, thank
storyboarding
God.
before that?
Yeah, I
Cartoon?
did almost
Wow.
everything. So that's
Man.
like the thing is I spent years just doing everything myself, and I got to a point where I was like, I'm going to like go on top of I live in this apartment at a time. I'm going to go on top of my roof and jump off if I have to keep fucking doing this.
Dude, Yeah.
And also, it's like something too where it's like I feel like I went as far as I could in that time frame, and like you just will not learn fast enough. You won't like your art won't get better faster than like you need to upload.
Yeah. Oh,
so it became a thing where I was like, I just need to like spend money and like keep evolving the look and the feel of stuff, and like I'm not even like, remotely a good storyboard artist. So for me, it was like, how can I like improve that section? And that's kind of what it always is. It's just like getting new pieces to make the puzzle a little more clear.
Well, you're like a director in that, much like James Cameron in that way, where you know how to
Almost
delegate
identical.
now, and you're like, oh, I have the initial vision, and that's the key. Is a bad director sees shit and they give it to them and they go, great, run with it. You see it, and that's where the art mind comes in, where you go, oh, that doesn't align with my vision. Let's go back and do it again. So you're not doing. It's not like you're not animating and now you're doing nothing. You're very hands-on. I'm
extremely. Yeah, I'm still in hell, but
but you rule hell now.
But I don't rule hell either. I'm burning along with everybody else. But I think the biggest thing too is just realizing that like your opinion also isn't always correct, and like also things will never be perfect. I feel like that's like the one positive about me is like after a while they're like, usually people are like, I mean, is this okay? And I'm like, fuck it. Yep. It's good. Good enough. Good. Usually it's the 70-30 method. As long as 70% of it's good, another 30%, no one's going to notice. It's like sometimes my audio guys will be like, it just sounds weird right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one else has a master's in audio.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be watching this on a bus on their iPhone. And I'm like, no one's going to hear what you're hearing kind of thing. So you just got to like, just get the fucking thing done and then just move on to the next thing, because it's like a race.
Yeah. Well, that kind of relates to comics in a way. That's what I was talking about with Kyle on our last, is you kind of learn to know what to hold back on, because you know, deadlines or whatever you have, and knowing that that's okay that you're holding back on it, and it's not getting worse necessarily. It's just not as emphasized of a thing.
Yeah.
Like you're like, the sound isn't the important thing in this video. Maybe it will be in another one. Because more of the horror ones, I feel like the sound is very key.
Yeah, music and sound.
Yeah,
everything's equally as important. It's just like, it's like such minute stuff where it's like, well, you want the monster to like his like the way that his intestines move. Yeah, and it's like that is like such like a cherry on top thing, like where it's like, dude, just eat the ice cream. Like, don't worry about all the fucking condiments and stuff. It's just like at the end of the day, it's sugar. Like, just have fun getting sugar high for a little bit is kind of what I
know you just said there's, you know, it's all important, but for you, when you're writing a script, do you think the visual gags are the most important, and then the dialogue is kind of that, what you were saying, kind of a cherry on top? Or do you let the dialogue dictate where it's going? Like, what do you think is the most important when you're telling a story?
I mean, I think that the like telling a story, I think like the actual subject of like what is the story you're telling, like all the visual stuff. That's, to me, that's like when you start like dressing the story with stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? Especially for like a cartoon, because some people like, they're all about slapsticks, and like a large part of like the joke structure is like the gags. Like board artists too, like primarily like SpongeBob is that way. It's a board driven show.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's less about the script and it's more so about the visuals of like what's on screen happening. And for me, at least for like what I like to write, it's like script first before anything. And then everything else just kind of falls into place, because the script should be so like clear. Yeah. That it's like, I know exactly what's happening. And also too, like I just like, I don't know if I just don't write comedy in a good way or anything, but like, I'm just not somebody where like I've like written like a joke out and I'm like, yes. You know, I've never been that kind of guy.
Oh, I thought you would do that. That makes me sad.
No. I'm my face is always just like cold.
And you're like, and I'm like, that's hilarious.
I'm like, this is a good one. I'm so happy.
When I send you a board and I'm very like, so what I do is I try to throw in visual things that you didn't necessarily ask for, but I'm like, maybe I'll like this. Cause like, I feel like with dialogue, I can't be like, write this. But if I throw in a board, it might be harder to get that change than just be like, roll with it. So I try to sneak in those things. And I always imagine like, he's going to open it and he won't even know it's in there. He'll get to it and he'll laugh so hard. Yeah. This is it.
Oh my God.
He's done it.
Yeah.
So I guess you don't do that, and it bums me out a little bit.
No, I'm looking and I'm just like, does this make sense? Yeah. It's just cohesive. Okay, that looks cool. This is good. This probably needs to be changed. Okay. And then I go to my bathroom. I throw up a little bit. because I'm sleep deprived and I'm overweight and like I kind of have like a weird introspect. Like I message you on Discord while I'm in the bathroom, just be like, this is what I'm thinking, blah blah blah, and you're like, cool, and I message back, and then I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm like, I gotta make changes in my life. Like nobody should live like this forever or whatever. And then I crawl back to my desk like a fucking like paraplegic dog, get back in my seat, and I'm like, great, it's a Simpsons parody.
They've all got tentacles.
Yeah. And then people are going to comment like, childhood ruined. And then I open up a big bottle of scotch and I down it all right there. And I try to black out as quickly as I can. And then I wake up and I'm like, this is still my life.
So, dude, anytime that Nick has sent something out of the blue because he never really talks to me, that's when you're fucking gone.
Yeah.
Is when he's like, Hunter would like this change. You're fucking passed out.
That or there's just 75 million other things. And I'm like, once again, I'm like hooked up to an IV on a bed. Of course. And then Nick's just like my right hand man.
Yeah,
and he's like, what can I do?
What do you need, baby?
I'm like, message Jake. Tell him, Corky on Discord, tell him that SpongeBob needs to chew bubblegum in this one scene because it's like poop or whatever. And usually people are like, that sounds rad. And then you're just like, yeah, it loses its, yeah. You just hate yourself, moral of the story.
No, that's, yeah, I'm like, okay. No, it's funny. No matter what, man, like, I don't know if you're like this, but any notes ever, even if they'll end up being a good thing to do, even on my comic book stuff, I have to give myself like 30 minutes to be like reset and be like, all right, I'm doing some more. I don't know if you're like that, but I'm like, so when I get them and you're like, make it poop, isn't that great? Usually I'm like, oh, more, okay, all right. And then I get into it and then I love it. But are you kind of that way? Do you like to do your own shit and you're like, don't tell me what to do. I got it.
No.
I think it's
you're like, tell me what to do. I love it.
I think it's just, I don't ever like it sucks being the, like, head guy because it's like, you never want to, like, overstep your boundaries. And, like, at first, like, when I first started working with people, especially, like, other animators, I'd be like, no, it's fine. It looks great, even though it was, like, completely missing the mark.
Yeah, for sure.
But after a while, you just have to be like, I'm not doing this to, like, fuck over anybody. It just needs to be done in a right way. And there's sometimes where boards are like perfect, and you're like, and I'm like, great, it's done, and I just move on, whatever. But
and I was saying that in the way that no matter what, it's just my gut instinct is always like, I wanted it to be perfect. And
totally.
And then I go, and then I crack a little bit, and I get all juiced up, and then Zoe oils me down, and then I get right back into it. Yeah.
We do that. I like contemplate. I like see the animatic with like the board strung together with like the audio, the radio play. I look at it and I'm like, this tune is terrible. What am I doing with my life? And I hand it off. I'm like, fuck it. This has to go up in like 8 days.
Yeah.
I talk to the animators about it. I'm like, you get this. And then by the time someone's animating, they're just like, dude, we should just cut this scene because there's not enough time. And I'm just like, please God, just try. And it's like all these kind of things where it's like this huge back and forth.
Dude.
So it's like, it's as many sacrifices, and it's like you don't want to be like, God, a MeatCanyon video. If you're losing sleep over that, then like, I just fucking like, I don't know, like, it's like not worth it at all.
To watch it? What do you mean?
To work on it.
Oh, to work on it. Okay.
Like the animator's like, I've been up for 4 days straight on like trying to hit this deadline.
Like, please go to bed. Like,
well, yeah, I'm like, this is so not worth it. Like, I'll do whatever I can to like help people because like, it's not at all supposed to be, it isn't supposed to be like fucking pull your hair out kind of thing. But at the same time, it is very like quick. Like it's quick. Like the team we have now, like everybody's fast. Like you're really fast. You're extremely fast at boards and good at them. All the animators are super fast. Like comps fast. Like everything is like lightning. So it's gotten to a better like. Well,
weren't you at,
machine?
Like when I first met you and you were in the other room at the studio here, you were doing it yourself at that point, and weren't you doing it weekly? And you asked me at one point, you were like, I'm thinking about doing it bi-weekly. I remember it was like one of the first conversations I remember, and I was like, I don't think, and this is me not as a fan, I was just like, I think people would understand every 2 weeks, like
Well, it's weird.
When did you make that decision? And you were like, okay, I gotta.
You just gotta like face the reality of it, because the thing is like when you go weekly, you get a lot more money.
Yeah.
The more you post on YouTube, the more money you're gonna make, obviously, and stuff.
For sure.
So at that point, it was like more money I've ever seen in my life, and I was like,
gotta keep it going.
And then like I remember one time I missed a week, and like also like your analytics dip. Like YouTube has I'm sure you've seen it, the Studio app, whatever, and everything, and it places your videos, and it's like, you didn't upload for 2 days. Like everything's down. Everything's back then. It always they changed it from red to gray, so now it's like gray.
So it's not.
So it's like, oh, if you're
feeling.
Well, it used to be way more manipulative because the whole thing is like they're like, well, it's supposed to help you track things, but really it's like manipulation to being like, ooh,
keep uploading.
That one didn't do very well. You should probably release another video, right? And you're like just fucking mentally tortured. So then I saw like all this kind of crazy stuff of like analytics dropping, and I'd be like, oh my God. And you try to get back and like make sure that, people know that you're alive and well, because people just consume content and then leave.
Yeah.
Whatever. Especially when you're starting out, it like takes a while to have like the disgusting parasocial relationship with fans where it's like they want to know like your blood type and stuff. Before that, it's all like, yeah, I put him on sometimes or whatever. Or, oh, yeah, I've watched one of his videos. So it's like, how can you continuously win over like these numbers?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even people. They're just like numbers. Okay, well, I got this many views this time, blah, blah, blah. But then, with anything, it's like you go to 2 weeks, you realize that like life doesn't end.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can still grow and do things. So I've kind of gotten better with that. I am profusely bleeding, by the way. I'm sorry.
Shit. Are you okay?
I accidentally scratched a hole into my leg. I'm sorry.
Oh,
you mind if I just get like something just to plot this or just a?
You got it. Oh, you got it. We got a cool day.
I drew blood on this podcast.
What do I even say after that? After you bled all over the carpet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Luckily, there's
way.
no stains, but I have just like there's blood everywhere. I'm trying to power through this deal before I get up and wash my hands.
If you
and
join
stuff
our
like that.
Patreon, you'll get a vial of Hunters of Blood.
Yeah, you'll see me fucking. What is it called whenever you stab yourself in the stomach with like a katana?
Oh, seppuku.
Seppuku.
Is that how you say that?
I didn't want to say something that would be racist.
Oh yeah. It's probably not seppuku, but I watched The Last
So
Samurai.
it is. So that's racist.
No,
definitely.
it is seppuku. I think I'll be right, but. In The Last Samurai, that was always the scariest scene with Tom Cruise walks by and he goes, what are they doing over there? And they all do seppuku on themselves.
Yeah, New Jersey, Tom Cruise. Yeah, what is going on over there?
And he's like, I'm one of you. I'm the last of you.
It is.
That's a good movie, though.
I remember somebody got mad because I was joking around. I haven't seen that movie since I was like...
Oh, me neither.
Fucking,
I just remember it being
8.
great.
I can't remember when I saw it.
The dude who plays Scorpion is in that movie. He's like the guy who teaches Tom Cruise how to sword fight.
He's the guy in the Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, the new one. Dude.
Oh, the new one.
And Ken Watanabe's in it, in The Last Samurai.
I have no idea what that is.
He's the Inception and Batman Begins fake Ra's al Ghul that gets crushed under all those... Remember they go, there he is, and he's dead?
Yeah.
That was it. and then Liam Neeson's like, I was actually Ra's al Ghul the whole time.
Doesn't Liam Neeson, like... Don't they just, like, put him in, like, a train at the end and he just explodes?
Yeah, and Batman goes... Yeah, that's it. That's Batman Begins.
Well, what's weird about that, I was like, I'm pretty sure V for Vendetta came out like 6 months earlier than that, and the exact same ending happens.
Is that how that ended? Dude, V for
Guy Fawkes is in like a fucking train, and they just like, he goes into Parliament and just like fucking explodes or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my God. That's always an on-TV movie for Vendetta. When I watched it, and I always got to Natalie Portman shaving her head, and then and then the commercials would come, and I'd switch to some. I always
liked V for Vendetta.
I haven't seen it. Cool. The comics. Have you read it?
No.
Oh man, did you know Alan Moore wrote that and Watchmen as well?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah,
what comics do you like, by the way, to segue into comic books, I guess? That you've picked. I know you're not as into it.
I don't know. God, it's been so long. Like I buy so much horror manga.
Yeah.
But it's all in, I don't speak Japanese. I can't read Japanese.
Yeah.
So I just buy it because I'm like, the art is so cool. I love it.
You buy them from Japan, like not
translated? Yeah, there's like a guy on Instagram. I buy like all of my books from him.
Dude, nice.
He's like, oh, I got this today. And I'm like, all right, dude, I'll take it.
And what's cool about that, though, and especially like Junji Ito, all the horror manga, is you read it and you don't even really need the words because it's just told so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Japanese
It'd be
stories...
nice to have the words. Of course.
Junji Ito stories sometimes are like so fucking lackluster. That you're like,
just yeah. Yeah.
well, it's like one
You
where
mean
it's
like
like
in
it was like
shorts?
a girl got hit by a bus, and you're like, well, that sucks. You like turn the page, and it's like they never saw her again, and you're like,
You're waiting for some like
well, yeah,
bus
you're like,
ghoul
okay, and it's
to
just like
come out.
end, and you're like, okay, well,
And he's
damn,
like, that's the
it's
real
done.
horror of all life.
Yeah, wow.
Like, shit, he's right.
A bus, and you're like, okay, or, yeah, it's just like something weird where it's just like, and they never saw that person ever again. And you're
Not
like,
even one.
and I'm like, it's funny that like someone can like unironically write that and just be like, perfect. And Fenice.
Because he doesn't have a guy to send it to that goes, I don't know about this. He's like, that's it.
Well, I'm
First
sure at
draft.
some point he's just like, I've drawn enough.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
He's accomplished
And
everything.
Almost always when those panels happen, they're like so tiny.
Oh yeah,
And it's like
they never. Saw
it's like almost like blocky. Like you could tell he was just like, hey, that's a window, and someone's standing there.
Well, I'm
Done.
imagining you reading this manga that's not translated, and you're saying that's what they say. Like you read the last panel, you go,
Yeah,
they
and
never saw them.
They never
again.
saw that again. Wow.
And everyone's like, it's not what it says at all. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
every
actually-
Junji Ito story ends the same way.
My editor Nick is like severely into One Piece, and I've tried to
What's
understand
the new thing
the
called?
compelling.
The 5? Something?
Gear 5?
Gear 5, yeah.
That's a big deal.
Are you doing a video about that?
Yeah, I can never figure out anything to do with it. Also, One Piece fans are just so
Annoying.
insufferable that
Yeah.
it's just like I just don't know what I could add to it. It's just it's such a parody amongst itself.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Also, it's just the most like convoluted, like unnecessarily long thing ever.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was like looking at I was like, God damn, how many volumes are there?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, whatever. He's like,
Oh,
100.
Nick's got them all.
Yeah, he's like 100 and whatever. And I look at my because I went back when Borders bookstore was still a
Oh,
thing.
man, Borders was the best,
They had
dude.
a buy 3 get 1 free, and they would release new stuff in 4
Yeah.
like volume installments.
Oh, nice.
And I remember I bought like a shit ton of stuff. I remember like Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball's like 16 volumes long.
Yeah. Great.
It's like
Great number.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest like read. You're like, oh my god, this is.
did
I love all these colorful characters.
Yeah,
You know, like wow,
I'm
look
not
at this.
tired of them.
Well, they're wishing for things. You know, Dragon Balls. And then yeah, it's like fucking anytime. I remember I tried getting into One Piece when I was younger, and I was like, I think I got like 12 issues in, and I was like, I can't, dude. They introduced like some fucking reindeer called Chopper, and I was like, I can't anymore, dude. I'm like tapped. I'm honest. I'm like, I can't fuck it. He's like, he's a hybrid reindeer experiment. And I'm like, who gives a fuck, dude? Who gives
they never
a fuck?
saw it again.
Yeah, and then they never saw.
I hope that's how the whole One Piece ends. Them on the ship going into the distance.
and they never saw Luffy again. Yeah, that'd be great. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I did read Watchmen when the Watchmen movie came out.
That's
and
exactly what I read it right before I saw it because I got to read it first.
Yeah.
And then it was exactly the same.
Yeah,
Except no
almost-
giant squid at the end.
No giant squid, which was a good call. I
From
remember
a movie standpoint,
I
I'm
remember
sure.
like looking at the book, being like, even in the book when I was like reading, I was like, what the fuck is this?
And they cut out
A
the
gi-
pirate scene, which is very long in the book. You're reading it and you're like, what? This literally has nothing to do
I remember
with it.
like when I was younger getting chills at that Watchmen part whenever
Yeah.
Rorschach's like, do it! And he
Dude,
explodes. I remember like getting to the part in the book and I was so excited. It's like 2 panels long and I was like, oh fuck, that's like not like they really took a creative yeah, exactly. Do it. Bang. And it's done.
And it's the Watchmen comic is the 9-panel grid.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are bigger than any other ones. So you get to that and it's just as important as him eating like a bagel in the earlier shot.
Yeah.
So it's just like, Rorschach's dead.
I also remember when I was younger watching that being like the what's his name?
Ozymandias. Yeah.
Ozymandias, whatever. I was like, yeah, dude's like got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people were like, he's like Hitler in that way. He's like Hitler. And I was like, I don't know, man.
I was
Like,
thinking
it's
about the
greater
best-
good. I mean, like
No, I know. Like I was
Cuba
thinking about,
and America are shaking hands now. Like,
it's kind of worked out for the better. The
kinda-
Giants. I mean, he didn't need a giant squid in the movie.
well, I was just like, how could he be that? Could he be wrong if he tricked the blue guy?
Yeah.
The blue guy who knows everything all the time?
He got him. Do you like underwear? Did you know that the underwear version and the dick out version? I thought that was just the censored TV version, but that's in the book. Sometimes he has black underwear.
Yeah,
on.
sometimes he has the black pants
And I don't
on.
understand.
I just don't know why he wouldn't just be hanging dong all the time.
Yeah,
I
just choose
also
one.
thought it was stupid. I'm like, couldn't he just like mosaic himself?
Like do whatever he wants. He can
Well,
do
just like,
anything.
and you can't see my. I refuse to let you see
you
my.
mean like
cock.
the pixely?
Yeah, it's like the like Japanese porn pixelization of this cock and balls. He's
But
like,
it's
and
so
you can't see
close
it.
to the shape. You know it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It'd be kind of funny if it was like it's like the mosaic's there, but you like still see his cock bulge from the mosaic. People were like, "Oh my god!"
Like the dick
He's like,
tip
"You can't
is
see this."
still out.
Yeah.
And he's wrong a little
His
bit.
tip is down there. He's like, "Oh shit!"
And you don't want to tell
pushes it
him
down a little more
because he'll fucking
there's
evaporate.
There's that scene where he's like at the Senate and he's wearing a suit. I'm like, really? You're a god and you show up to the fucking
kinda,
Congress in a suit?
That would like make you annoyed a little bit. Like you'd be like, "Wow, okay, cool." I love the scene where he's fucking his Silk Spectre, and then she gets mad because there's like 6 of them, and he's also making pancakes in the other room.
He's like putting together like a machine. He's like, "Trust me, babe. I was my whole focus was on you." He's like, "I'm God, by the way." Like, I have better things to do with my time. I remember I was like, I feel like I'd be stoked if I was a chick. Would you not?
With him? Yeah. He's got the perfect
two of you.
bod. Yeah, he could make like 15 of you. He's blue, you know?
His
I
dick
don't know
can
what
be
that is.
any size. And he's perfect because it's like,
but he's got no pupils, and I feel like eyes are a big thing when love making. I don't know if you find
making
that
out,
way.
and he's just like, he has no eyelids.
No eyelids. Just like and no emotion too. You don't know if you're doing a good. Well, it's all about you because you couldn't satisfy him.
Well, what would coming even be to him?
Dude, when he would
he
would teleport to Mars every time he'd come.
Yeah, he literally got like coming's cool, right?
We love it.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Do I think it's better than if I could teleport to Mars? Probably not. Like I feel like I'd probably be like, yeah, when I teleport to Mars, it feels way better. Like it's like
good,
yeah. It's like it's like
you come off the other end, you're like,
oh
yeah.
Yeah, just like
good.
sweating profusely. Like falls down to his hands and knees. He's like crawling around on Mars. Fuck. Yeah, and he's also like reassembled himself from like the nano.
It's gotta feel great.
He's like, oh wow,
because it would hurt a little.
A 37-year-old woman made me come. Wow, that's fun.
That's
way better than teleporting to Mars. Yeah, and then she goes and immediately fucks the owl guy. I'm be like, yeah.
Oh
dude.
yeah, isn't he like really schlubby and like he's in his 50s and he has a hard time getting it up?
Well, yeah, he like lives with one of the other owl dudes. I can't remember if that's like his.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like
probably you mean like an older owl who used to be.
Well, yeah, it was the owl before him.
Yeah, okay,
whatever.
I
can't remember if he was
old owl. Doesn't he get beat up and killed or something? I forgot. It's been a long time since
I don't know. That movie is like 4 hours long.
It's very long. Have you seen the extended Sucker Punch? Speaking of Zack Snyder, because we're talking about Zack Snyder, but it's a little bit better. It's not that much better, but I was so excited.
The movie Sucker Punch?
I was so excited for that movie.
It's terrible.
Coming out. I know. Stoked.
It's just like rape victim fantasies.
That's
all it is. And you're just like,
wait. And then I went and I was
even as a kid, even like when you can't understand the complexities of like sexual abuse in that way.
Yeah,
I remember still being like, this is gratuitous.
Yeah, you're like, oh. And then like Oscar Isaac's in that movie. And he's like, he's in that movie?
It's like all grimy and stuff. The real world is like gray and like piss yellow.
Yeah.
You're going to come to my office again. And like all of a sudden now there's like Gundams. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is such a shitty movie. I wanted that to be cool too because you remember the trailers. You're like, whoa, there's like trench warfare.
Yeah.
There's all this. And then,
and nothing's connected by any. It's like a really good trailer movie. You know, like the best trailer movie ever. Because then you have that "Sweet Dreams Are Made," which is like in every trailer at that time. I feel like I remember when. Speaking of owls, I guess Zack Snyder likes owls, but when this movie was a trailer, my family got it in their mind that it was funny that I said the owl. Do you remember the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, which was also Zack Snyder, the owl movie? It's like a CGI owl movie by Zack Snyder.
Guardians of Ga'Hoole.
Ga'Hoole. It's based on a book. The trailer played at the movies, and my brother goes, "That looks like shit," and I go, "Come on, man, it doesn't look that bad."
It looks awesome.
And then from that, not even awesome, just from then on, they were like, Jake probably wants to just go see that fucking Owls of Ga'Hoole movie. That on Easter, my mom would always get us a DVD of whatever we were into at that time, and she got me that. And I was like, I don't actually like this. And he was like, your brother said
Did you watch it though?
And then I watched it. It was okay, I guess. But
you liked it.
It was all right. The best scene. Yeah, I was like,
best day ever.
I'm going to tell everyone I didn't want this.
Quickly restart the movie with Zack Snyder's commentary.
No, the owls in this
so
scene.
We got owls for this one. The guy to replicate owls for the scene.
My initial pitch was that there was a psychiatric hospital for owls.
Yeah, there was going to be a psychiatric hospital, some sexual assault, but
and Gundams to show up.
Yeah, and there's going to be Gundams.
They turned down my piss yellow color palette.
Nobody wanted to have the piss yellow color palette. I tried doing the speed up, slow down thing again. They weren't going for that.
They did do that in the Owls movie.
No, they did.
It felt very Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But the best scene, and you're going to love this, is they go to a city for owls, and guess what band the song was from that they played during that scene? The City of Owls. What do you think was the band that they were like, This will perfectly encapsulate an Owl City.
Is it? Do they literally play Owl City? I almost said Rush.
Oh,
If you didn't say Owl City like that, I definitely would have said Rush.
Pearl Jam.
Like Spirit of... Yeah, if they played Jeremy, Pearl Jam's Jeremy, that'd be so great.
It came up
Even
and we were all
flow.
watching it and it goes, you would not believe your eyes or whatever. And I went,
God.
they're playing Owl City at the Owl City scene. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yo!
Dude.
This is awesome!
They nailed it. They nailed it. Hitting the nail on the head. I love when movies
Whoa.
hit you on the nose with
Yeah.
something. It's great.
Okay, I know what they mean by that.
Me and my friend watched the Fantastic Four remake, the one with Michael B. Jordan.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, Miles Teller.
I never saw
Dude,
him.
yeah, it's pretty bad. It's hilarious. But there's a scene where Human Torch's dad dies. His head hits the thing, and they literally play like a death chime just so you know he's dead. It goes dong. And me and my friends are like, "What the fuck?"
There's like just like a 7-foot tall like rock guy. He's like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you, Thing.
You gotta see that. Halfway through the movie, Invisible Woman has a wig on for some reason. I love when shit like that happens. Like Henry Cavill's mustache. Like I love when they're like scheduling conflicts ruined half of our movie.
Yeah.
That's
The
best.
mustache. Jesus Christ. I forgot about the mustache already.
Are there any shows you are currently watching that you're into? Or video games? We're video gamer guys.
I don't play video games really, actually.
Not anymore? What was the
I don't
last
think
one
I
you
don't
played?
think I really have. I mean, I
You
played
Doom.
I did play Doom. That's true.
We were pretty excited about that.
I was
We were
stoked.
talking about that. Yeah.
That was like 4 years
Isn't
ago.
that insane?
That's 4 years
I
ago. that
remember
happened.
watching the Doom like gameplay while I drew for like it felt like a year and a half waiting for that game because it got delayed, and I was like, my life will be done. It had everything I wanted. I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted. And then it came out and it was great, and I can't believe it's been as long between this one and the 2016 one as it was
Yeah.
when that came out. And that, like we should have a Doom 3 at this point if that's what they're not making that now.
I don't care.
I've heard. You
I
don't
think
care
it's-
about Doom. You don't like it?
No, it's fine. It's
love
it's one of those things where it's like I just am not the person where I can't keep continuously consuming something.
Oh, you mean,
Also, if
you mean like after it's come out?
like Doom 3, if I see with Doom fucking Resurrection or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it,
I don't think they're doing another.
and
one.
then good,
Yeah.
don't.
They kind of nailed
If
everything.
I heard another gent soundtrack from Doom where people are like, dude, well, I'm just like vibing out. I love throwing on the Doom soundtrack.
Mick Gordon, dude.
Yeah, Mick Gordon. Jesus Christ,
dude, he slays, man.
Yeah, he's such a killer on the guitar.
When
Yeah.
he's doing the little stick at other people to play.
Yeah,
fucking good.
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't
So
know.
no games now. You're just on work.
No, it's not like the
do you do in your free time,
The Silent
Hunter?
Hill 2 remake. I can't wait to watch.
Oh.
But I'm a guy. I like watching people play games.
I do too. Well, I'm drawing.
Not Twitch though.
No,
I like getting
Let's
people
Plays.
together and then not even that.
Oh, you mean other people?
I don't
want
want to consume. I don't want to consume any YouTube people watching games.
Okay, cool.
Can't do it. Refuse to do it.
Okay, sure. I won't make.
I
you.
like getting buddies together and then just being like, I'm gonna throw this on. Here's the controller. Just play
Well, I
we
do
can just-
whatever.
or just watch it.
That's awesome. We
Yeah.
tried it, dude. We did that in, I don't know, we used to be way into that in college because we had kids in game design were our friends. I haven't done that. I would love to do that if you and Nick and them want to do it. But we were like, let's play The Last of Us. This was like 2013. Our friends were like, it's beautiful. This amazing game. We put it on. I start to play it. My friend Armand, who's the weirdest motherfucker you'll ever meet in your entire life, and I love him. He put on his own TV of The Last of Us, and he goes, let's race. And I went, what? And he went, let's see who can do it faster. So we start playing. The cutscene of his daughter starts. We both skip it so we can go faster. And the game design people are like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop! And some people haven't ever seen the game. And they were like, what? And then we're 20 years later and we're just going. And they're like, and if you skip all the cutscenes of that game, it's like 4 hours long. You can beat it. It's super quick.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's fun. So what game have you been doing that with? Having someone watch it?
Last
or
one was
playing?
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, dude,
I watched
that game
Nick.
is so
I watched
good.
Nick play that. Yeah.
So fucking good. I think I've played through it twice.
Yeah.
Because I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Don't have time now, but
Yeah.
for a little dry spell there, I was playing that like crazy. And the new Street Fighter is really good too.
Yep.
Capcom's killing it right now, I feel.
Other than that, I just watch I watch Roseanne a lot.
Yeah.
I watch Roseanne. I watch like Kenny versus Spenny.
Okay, cool.
It's just like trash TV.
Dude, yeah.
If I have any time to just turn my brain off, I will put on the most abhorrent. I watch Gold Rush a lot. You ever watch Gold Rush?
No, what is that?
It's literally just about people in Alaska mining gold.
So it's real people. It's not like fiction.
Well, yeah, but it's like
reality.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So, but the whole thing is, it's like.
Do you watch The Bachelor at all? That's what.
No, I don't watch that. I just Gold Rush is like what's an example I give you? So like it's like them. You see the machines going.
Yeah.
And they're like cleaning dirt to get gold out of it.
Yeah.
And you hear, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And he like runs up to the thing, and it's like Parker Lewis just had the belt on his Drommel break. If he's to hit his season gold of 45 ounces, he needs to fix this quickly. And he's like, okay, well, I guess we need to fix the Drommel. And it's like them doing that. It's just like
That's
my wife hates it because I've bought 9 seasons on Amazon Prime.
Oh my! So,
and she's like,
she's streaming. You bought them.
I bought them.
Dude.
They were like $30 a piece.
Shit.
And I was just like comatose myself, and I'm like watching it. Yeah,
you bought it on Prime, or you got the box sets?
No. It's just all on Prime.
You should go ahead and get the box sets of Gold
I
Rush.
can't do it.
It'd be great to have it.
It's like looking at all the DVDs I have now. I have like one of those like giant fucking giant binders of DVDs. Yeah. And what was fucked up back in the day too with DVDs I hated is when they didn't have the cover art on it.
Yeah.
And you're like
on the disc?
Looking at like the inner ring to be
Dude,
like, what fucking movie is this?
I remember Napoleon Dynamite had that. And you had to look and make sure it was that side because if you flipped it the other way, it was like the special features, and it would just go into how they got Tina to eat the casserole.
Eject, flip it over, fucking put it back in. So many times I sat there and I'd like be like, I had no idea, put it in the DVD player, and you're like, why do I have this? And you take it out and like throw it away.
Secondhand Lions was one of those too. I remember all the ones that had the stupid ring on it, and I'd be like,
I love Secondhand Lions.
That's a great movie, man.
It's a sad movie.
It's a sad movie. That's the movie I always watched with my grandmother every time I went over there.
Yeah, I think actually my grandma had that on VHS. I'm pretty sure.
There's like the specific movies.
That was like right before Haley Joel Osment just became extremely fat.
Not right before. He was a little boy in
that. He wasn't a little boy. He was a little boy in like Sixth Sense.
You know, the older guy at the end of Secondhand Lions was a different actor playing him older, right?
I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah. I do.
How'd he get sold? You're like, boyhood.
I definitely think Haley Joel Osment was at least 19 when Secondhand Lions.
Okay, well that makes
I'm almost positive.
Because you know when you're a kid too, they look older. Maybe you thought he was older.
That's true. I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't know.
Like when I went,
he just definitely wasn't like the little boy.
He was like,
I see dead people.
Yeah, that kid. They were putting him into like overalls and trying to get him to look younger, and they were like, he's in college now.
Yeah, he's actually 46. And he's like, I can't. I hate that I have to be here with my grandparents. I wish my mom was here. I have to stay here with these two. Were the old men gay?
No, they were like best friends. Because the story was that he had a wife. They could be. It could be.
That's the early 2000 movies. They're just friends.
They're just two old men.
Two old men living in a house for like 40 years together.
I bet if you pause a frame, you can see a silhouette of them just like fucking through the window when the kid's talking to the lion in the box.
There's all kinds of different people. Haley Joel Osment. He's like, why do you guys? Why do you guys?
British. He was just doing a like Texas accent.
Why do you guys not have your own rooms? Well, it's a small house. It's like a mansion.
They both wear nightgowns too, don't they?
Yeah,
that's great.
One of them like sleepwalks, and he's like, "I'll put him back to bed."
Oh,
yeah. It's like definitely one of those things where I'm just like, please just acknowledge that you're gay.
Yeah. If they made that now, they totally would be.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just made right at that time where they were not going to do that.
They were still waiting to see how Brokeback Mountain did in the box office.
And then it did well, and they were like,
yeah, they're like,
all right, let's go. They were like, fuck, those old men should have been gay.
Yeah, 100%.
And cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why weren't they fucking
We should have just made Brokeback Mountain, that's what they're saying.
With lions.
Yeah, and there's one lion in it. That would be insane.
Dude, that's totally how execs think, though. They go, that did well because they're cowboys, right?
That's what happened with when Seth Rogen was making Observe and Report. A studio caught wind of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we need to make a mall cop movie. And that's how Paul Blart came up. And they beat him to market.
Thank God they did.
Beat him to market, and Observe and Report fucking tanked like horribly. And then now we have 2 Paul Blart movies.
Which, dude, we should get together and see the second one. Still never seen it.
Refuse to rewatch that movie.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen the first one.
I love the first one, man.
Do you?
That's what I've seen over.
I'm good.
You like it too, Zoe. Don't shake your head.
Being ironic, though.
Well, no, I'm not going, what a beautiful film. The cinematography.
I don't know. You said a lot of questionable things.
The hypoglycemia arc that comes back, that is a satisfying conclusion to his story.
I guess, yeah.
Come on. When he has to eat it with a hair on it, and the skateboarders are chasing him in the mall?
Yeah.
Bro. Rewatch this for me.
Yeah.
Then we'll have you on next week.
Yeah,
and you'll tell us.
I'm like, my wife's like, why are you watching this? I'm like, I told a friend I would. I made a promise.
Well, I think that's a good time to end it. Thank you, Hunter, for being on. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad you're in town and we can hang out more. It's super cool. Everyone, if you want to check out Hunter's videos, go to MeatCanyon on YouTube, and also what's your second channel? Papa Meat. Papa Meat is his other channel. Go check it out. And then we'll be back 2 Wednesdays from now. We're bi-weekly. Go to my Etsy shop, check out the Godzilla book I've got going, all that stuff. But yeah, thank you, man.
I have blood all over my hand,
dude.
I'm gonna do a
blood
bump. I feel literally bad. I don't want to touch anybody.
Look
how gross that dry blood looks. It's black on my.
It is coagulated for sure.
Yeah, it's like all thick and
juicy. You all right?
That's how I'm like leaving this podcast.
Yeah, you're like sad about.
Sorry, I'm bloody.
All right, bye.